Alrighty guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel, and not back to American Reacts, but rather American Shops. I've done this video once before, a video like this when I was doing my American Reacts to Saudi Arabia series. I basically went car shopping online in Saudi Arabia, and it was really cool seeing all the different trucks and vehicles and brands that they had that we definitely do not have in America. And I should say the United States specifically, because even Canada has a couple different cars than we have, and Mexico has a lot of different vehicles that the United States doesn't have. So we're going to do that for Australia. Why not? You guys, I'm looking at this from two angles. For one, as a truck guy, or what you would call Ute, you guys have an amazing array of off-road vehicles. I'm a big truck guy, big off-roading guy, and you guys have amazing selection of vehicles that we have nothing close to in the United States. And it's a damn shame. It's a damn shame. That's where one of the areas that's lacking, in my opinion. There's huge off-road culture in the United States, but manufacturers just, I don't know, they don't give us a lot compared to what they give you. We kind of have to make our own off-road builds once we get a hold of a regular truck. And then on the flip side, I love motorsports, I love race cars, and I love, you know, regular fast muscle cars, sports cars. Who doesn't, right? And I love that just as much. So it'd be interesting to see what kind of cars and brands maybe that you guys have, again, that we don't have in the States. So let's go right to it. This website was recommended to me by at least one or two of viewers. So thank you, whoever you are, you know who you are. Thank you for this. This is carsales.au. And here we go. First thing I'm noticing right off the bat is the body type. Of course, we have SUVs, we have sedans, wagons, hatchbacks. But look at this, the Ute. It is officially an AU site. I know I'm in the right place because it says Ute right there. How cool is that? Would like to look at everything, but let's make it a little easier. Let's jump right into Utes first, and then we will look at more broad spectrum cars later on. Yeah, these are definitely going to be in Australian dollars. And so I'm not exactly sure off the top of my head how that converts to American dollars, but I'm seeing some really expensive prices here because you do have the Ram 1500. I know what we call full-size trucks, your half-ton, three-quarter-ton, one-ton trucks. Ram 1500 would be a half-ton. Those are big trucks. I've heard that you guys do have them down there, but they're not as common. Here, that's the #1 selling category. Everyone and their mama has a big truck. Especially in the last couple decades, that has gone through the roof in America. Everyone loves trucks, wants trucks, but they're getting very expensive, and I feel like they're very expensive for you guys as well, and maybe less common. They're more literally just for work. Yeah, Ram 1500s I would assume would be far less common down in Australia, but I would like to see what else you have. So right away I'm seeing a Mazda BT50 right away. That looks kind of like a cool truck. A lot of these are going to seem cool to me. You have to realize that we don't have anything like these, and they may be normal to you, but they're cool to me because I feel like you guys have much more selection than we have. So yeah, the Mazda BT50, very cool looking. I love how everything's kind of got like a rugged off-road look, more so than our trucks do. Of course, I have heard of this, the Isuzu D-Max. We used to have Isuzu in the United States until about the mid-2000s, and they left for some reason. But you guys still have Isuzu, and of course the D-Max, we've never had that. Very cool. I've heard a lot about it. Must be a decent Ute. And the Volkswagen Amarok. I do know about this. We do not have Volkswagen trucks or Utes in the U.S., but I know, I wish I could get it on camera. I actually could. I just haven't bothered yet. I do know of right near me, I won't say where, I know someone with a Volkswagen Amarok in the United States, probably the only one. So yeah, it is from Mexico, and it is right here near me. So that is kind of cool. And then of course we come to our first row where I don't recognize anything. We have an LDV T60. No idea what that means. No idea what that brand is. We don't have that. GWM Ute, just called a Ute. Very original, right? But of course that brand, GWM, no idea again what that is. We don't have that. Of course the Gladiator, that just came out a couple years ago. You guys have those, I see. Very expensive, it looks like, compared to at least these two on the side. Nissan Navara. Now that looks similar to a Nissan Frontier called in the United States. So I feel like at least that's one truck that we have a similar version of, but I'm sure the Navara is better in multiple ways, probably better engine choices and maybe better build quality, who knows. Oh god, Ssangyong Muso, probably butchered that because we don't have those. I don't know what that is at all. Of course, the Ford Ranger we just got back, we had those for years and years and years, and then they stopped making them here for like 8 or 10 years, and now they brought them back. So yeah, we have Rangers, but we don't have a Ranger Raptor, from what I understand you guys and a lot of other countries do. We don't. Go figure, right? Mitsubishi Triton. Wow, we don't have that either. Mahindra. We do have Mahindras here. They're extremely rare. I would not mind getting one. The Mahindra, they make a really small, kind of like a Jeep Wrangler looking vehicle. Looks pretty cool. Toyota Hilux. Everyone knows a Hilux, even in America. Of course we don't have it. We do have the Toyota Tacoma, which is similar, but not the same. Similar, not the same. I feel like the Hilux is a little better. It certainly has the history and street cred. I wish we had it, but we don't, unfortunately. You guys do sell the Chevy Silverado. I have a 95 Silverado myself. Very good trucks, especially the older ones. Not a big fan of the newer ones, I'll be honest. GM's build quality with these trucks have gone down significantly, but if you're talking like a 2006 or older, they're damn bulletproof trucks, at least here in America. And of course, a Photon Tunland. A Photon Tunland. No idea what that is either. So that's our rundown of Utes. Now this is kind of cool. I always look at this. You guys, of course, also have the Land Cruiser. I saw this on the Saudi Arabian sites. They love the Land Cruiser as well. I quickly became pretty famous over there for saying a bunch of like 2018 and 2019 Land Cruisers that were off-roading. I thought they were from like the 90s or the 80s. They were brand new because of the retro styling. So yeah, I got to learn a lot about that from them. They look amazing. I'm super jealous. The Land Cruiser, especially with this retro styling, to me, from my standpoint, looks amazing. They're very capable off-road. Great workhorses. Of course, you guys have the Mercedes Sprinter, but it looks like we have that as well. But of course, you have more configurations, I'm sure. You have a lot of cab chassis models. And look at like a Volkswagen Crafter. Of course, more Mahindras. Nissan Navara with cab chassis. So yeah, we have cab chassis models, of course, as well, but they're much more limited to your really big one-ton trucks. You're not going to find smaller trucks like this at all. It's again, it's a shame. We just don't get a lot in the United States. I to this day, I don't know why. It's weird. Now, this is pretty funny. I'm sure you guys have heard from movies and stuff in American culture. What we call minivans are really popular, although they have lost their stride as recent as a couple years ago. But for the beginning part of my life, 90s and early thousands, minivans was where it was at, quickly to be replaced by now everyone wants big SUVs. But yeah, I think most countries, including Australia, probably call them people movers, hence the name here. And that is pretty funny, right? Minivan is quicker to say, so I guess I'll stick with minivan. But yeah, you guys have some minivans that I've never seen. Of course, Volkswagen, Hyundai, yeah, a lot of different ones. But we're not going to waste too much time on minivans. Come on now. And then, of course, we come to sedans. I'm seeing that they still classify a lot of trucks or Utes as sedans, so we're going to scroll down. And this is where we get into vehicles, again, that maybe I won't recognize. So, of course, you got Maserati and Lexus. That's interesting. I know Lexus is not available in a lot of countries. Of course, them being a luxury division of Toyota. I'm sure you already know that. But yeah, most of these I recognize. The Audis, the Mercedes, we have all those. Volkswagen California, look at that. We don't have that. We have the state of California, but we don't have a vehicle called that, that's for sure. That's very interesting. A Toyota Grand Via, we don't have that either. That is a weird looking machine. And Skoda, we don't have them at all. I've heard of it, don't know anything about it. I just know we don't have them. You guys do have Chrysler 300s, that's interesting. Now, this is kind of a shame. I wanted to point this out. You guys do have Teslas, that's cool. But the shame part I was going to point out is I'm looking for Holden here. and I'm not seeing them. It goes Honda, Hyundai, and then to Isuzu. So people have mentioned that Holden kind of shut down like really recently, right? I guess the site is that quick on the ball that they don't have them. Gonna have to look at that under used. For Ford, it's only pulling up these. I feel like also that is not correct. Because I would assume you guys have F-150s and F-250s and stuff, right? And then wouldn't you have, you know, like the Ford Falcons and all these different Ford hatchbacks and stuff, you would think. So I'm not sure if I'm on the wrong section here or what. All right, now we're just here on used cars. I think we're going to get a more, you know, accurate on-the-ground variety. And so here we go. Yeah, there's a Ford Ranger with a flatbed or some sort of utility bed. That is really cool because we don't have any Rangers in that configuration. You get pretty basic ones here and that's it. A Ford Everest. There you go. Have no idea what that is because we don't have it. I love how a lot of vehicles have these very strong off-road bumpers with the lights, the grill guards, bull bar, whatever you want to call it. And it makes sense because you guys have wide open roads and a lot of kangaroos and goofy animals that love to jump in front of you. So I don't blame you for having protected vehicles. That's very cool. Of course, we finally found a Holden. Here's a Holden Astra. And this I do know of because we had a literally just rebadged ripoff of that called a Saturn Astra. Saturn was a brand here only in the United States. They have since folded as of, I think, 2010. That's a shame because Saturn made really good cars. But, of course, the one I'm talking about, the Astra, wasn't really a Saturn. That particular car was just a reskinned version of this, basically. So, yeah, I do know what that is. That's like a hot hatch, right? And look at that. Of course, the Holden Colorado, which we have in the U.S. as a Chevy Colorado. That's cool. Colorado being the beautiful mountainous U.S. state. I see that you guys back in 2013 had the 2.8 turbo diesel motor, which we do have for our Colorados as well. But we did not get until the Colorado was brought back in, I believe, 2016 or 2017. So, yeah, you guys have had it longer than us. Again, Holden Cruise. We have a Chevy Cruise. That's pretty funny to see. I have to admit, a lot of these Holden versions, I think, look a little better. They look a little sharper. The Chevy versions look kind of stripped down. There's another Ford Everest. The only thing I can think in the U.S. that's sort of similar is a Ford Escape, it's called, but the Everest looks a little more rugged. Ooh, and there's a Z71. So you guys do have the Z71 trim. Very cool. That's like an off-road upscale trim that we have on our trucks, and I see that you have them on your Utes. And a Mitsubishi Pajero. I did see these on the Saudi Arabian off-road videos. They seem very, very good off-road. At least they did over there in the dunes. And, of course, we don't have that at all in America. Oh, man. There's a Hilux. Look at that. $32,000 for a 2013 3-liter turbo diesel. Oh my God. You guys have no idea how lucky you are for the Utes. Like, everyone thinks America is like land of the trucks, but we don't have as many trucks to choose from as you guys. I'm telling you. You guys have got it made for off-road. You have beautiful land, vast, sparse land to off-road on, and you have great choices to start off with. So, yeah, good on you, Australia. You guys, in my opinion, are more like the king of Utes rather than here. Most trucks in America, if you're not a big off-road enthusiast, will just be pavement queens, pavement princess, whatever you want to call them. They won't see much work. Ooh, here we go. We have a Commodore. I got to click on this one. Holden Commodore. Again, we only saw this for a split second, badged as literally just a Chevy SS, which didn't make any sense to people because SS has always been a trim model here, meaning, you know, like super sport versions of Chevy sports cars. So to call a car an SS didn't make much sense. It almost seemed like Chevy didn't care. They didn't advertise it. They didn't even try and sell it to you at dealerships. They tried to sway you into a Camaro or something. So, yeah, it's a shame. Secretly, I would love to get one. I've only seen a few, but when I see them, they look really good, even the Chevy version. So, yeah, Holden Commodore, sold in the States as a Chevy SS, and earlier even as a Pontiac G8 as well, which are also rare here. But they look awesome. How can you argue with a muscular four-door sedan like that? They look cool. And this one is by Melbourne. Cool. cool is that? Looks like it's in good shape. It might be a regular one. So I don't even know if that has a V8. It's not. It's a 6-cylinder. The ones in the U.S. were only V8s. So we didn't get a whole line. We just got basically the fully loaded model, and that's it. Ooh, there's a Hyundai Santa Fe. You guys have Hyundais. I thought I remember glancing at an article one time that said Hyundai was doing really well in Australia. So tell me if that's true. That's a Hyundai Santa Fe. Of course, we have that as well. They sell pretty good, and that is, of course, named after an American place, Santa Fe, New Mexico. Very cool historic city in the mountains. And look at this Toyota Hilux. Now, this is like the kind I saw on the Saudi Arabia sites. This is what I like. I like this. It's got a nice stance on it, kind of sits nice and high. You got the big, tough front end. You just got steely wheels, but I'd put some nice, off-road tires on there. And you got the flatbed. I mean, how cool is that? This is like a utility, tough truck. Not pretty, not dolled up. Just meant for work, meant for some off-roading, and you can just kind of toss it around and have fun, and it'll take abuse. This truck looks really good. This is what I would rock with. I'm not even kidding. And then finally, we have a Holden Ute Magnum VF Series. That's a handful there of words, but we're going to click on this because this looks awesome. And what is this price about? Let's look into this. This is what I was waiting for. Not Utes as in your bigger trucks or bigger Utes, but the car-based Utes like this, because this is something we do not have at all. We, of course, used to have the Chevy El Camino, the Ford Ranchero, and the Dodge Rampage, and these were car-based Utes. They weren't trucks at all. They were totally cars with just a bed, and that's what this is. Obviously, you can tell, like, from the front onward, it's basically like a Holden Commodore, but it's a Ute. It's got a bed, and that is super freaking cool. So Australian. I love it. I wish we still had this kind of thing in America. We haven't had this in decades. This is super cool, unique to you guys. Look at the styling. That Holden styling looks great. And it's a Ute, but it looks muscular and sporty. And you got that 6.2 liter. That thing is roaring. What a beast, right? What a beast. This looks like a low mile, or I should say low kilometer version. Look at that beautiful engine bay. It's even signed by somebody there. Maybe this is like some sort of a collector's edition or something. I'm not sure, but it looks really clean for being 4 years old, and certainly is calling for a lot of money. A lot of money, I imagine. So that's how we're going to end it. I could do this for hours, guys. Hours. I don't know how long this is already. I'm sure it's more than long enough, but I appreciate you hanging out with me and doing a little American car shop in the land down under in Australia. Let me tell you, you guys have awesome selection of vehicles, and between the car-based Utes that are kind of these muscular, sporty Utes, how cool is that? From my perspective, we'd have nothing like that. And of course, you have better off-roaders than we do, and you have a little more variety in your car brands than we have. That being said, guys, I hope you enjoyed this. If you like this style of video every once in a while to break up the flow of reactions, let me know down below. I know I do. I love doing these different kind of style of videos. That was my car shop in Australia. Let me know some other sites or other vehicles I should have checked out if I missed them. Anything you want, let's talk in the comments. If you want to help out the channel further, that info's down in the description, or you could just click that thumbs up. I do appreciate it. Subscribe for more stuff like this. And my name is Ian. You're watching IWrocker. And thank you for tuning in. I'll catch you later.